Bonsoir, fuckers. We are
Bonjour,
here.
fuckers.
Bonjour, bonsoir. I don't know, but either way, it is Monday night, and we didn't play last Monday, so we're extra hyped. Let's play some background music because I forgot to play that. Other than that, I do want to announce that we will be doing, as part of my 500 follower giveaway, when that eventually happens, I'll be giving away some posters made by the Dungeon Master Conrad. They will not be framed.
Hello.
This is a frame that I got from Sean, but maybe you can ask Sean. No, I don't think so.
Nope, that was the last one.
Nope.
Sean's like, Jordan's giving away the posters. Sean's selling the frames at $100 a pop.
100 gold.
They are very exclusive Men of the Gill frames.
Yes.
I'll give it away for a free short rest claim.
We could actually sign them before we give them away. That'd be really cool. But anyways, we'll deal with that when that comes. But it is Monday night, like I mentioned, so we are ready to play, I guess. I'll pass it over to the Dungeon Master.
Monday, we play some D&D. We always start, for the recap, with a character building question. And we'll start with Balder, because we just met Balder's extended family by meeting his brother.
His extended
What is Balder's biggest insecurity?
Well, until recently, it would have just been being small and weak compared to, his brother and some of the other orcs he was around. But now, I think he's kind of over that. I think he's realized he's got strength in other ways. So now his biggest insecurity is probably just the fact that he doesn't have that honor that he should. That his name has been stolen. Everything's been taken from him as far as he's concerned at this point.
Right, so not pleasing his patron of glory. Sounds good. I'm gonna go with Erden, because Erden, I want to know if you throw me a curveball, if you're just gonna go with what's obvious.
Oh.
I was gonna say, I mean, that's where I was going with. I'm like, biggest insecurity is sticking out of my head. But yeah, I mean, his biggest insecurity is still like being like just public speaking and everything, and being pushed into the first mate role kind of helped him with that insecurity. But obviously, yeah, the big marking and horns sticking out of his head is physically one of his insecurities, but personality wise it would be having like just being socially awkward, and now he's working his way out of it. He's working on his insecurities.
Okay. Mr. Snow, what is your biggest insecurity?
Well, more so recently, it's not being able to achieve that level of knowledge that he kind of wants, and also him knowing something that he really wants to find out that he feels that he can't ask anybody, so he feels like he's searching for this alone, and he's scared that if this information gets out in the wrong hands that it could be catastrophic. So he's kind of just he feels alone in his own quest, despite feeling like he needs help to get to where he needs to to accomplish what he needs. So he's always been a loner, and I guess that has always made him a bit insecure. He's always found comfort in books. That's always been his go-to thing, but I guess he misses the human touch.
Well.
I'll give you some touch.
Humanoid touch.
And now, finally, Invitus Preda, what is your biggest insecurity?
I did feel like I had a lot of purpose. But now, turns out I don't want to kill my sister, and, well, I guess there's vengeance. That's a pretty good thing to fall back on. I guess I just don't know where I'm heading. Like there's just mystery, and I just don't want to be lost. So I don't really lead, and I'm kind of bad at following. So it's, well, I just don't know. It's mystery. I'm very insecure about that.
Ooh. All right. So, a recap. Last session that we had 2 weeks ago, you guys just finished murdering an illithid and a purple worm. You made your way into the Crimson Capital. Its size overwhelmed any city you've been in. It was bigger than Balumis. But the only problem was that it looks like it was in shambles, and people were living amongst the ruins of what used to be a modern marvel. You met with the, I'd say council, but it's not really a council, but you met with the main authority figures, where some meetings were made, information was exchanged, and you met Baldur's brother, who ends up, Prey, what did you say he was like? He was a complete, what was the word? Asshole? Dickbag?
Maybe a scrotum person, a scrotumite, a person from Scrotum Town,
Rhodamite.
a scrotonian.
And so you met, and we left off with the meeting coming to a conclusion, information exchanged, and that's where we pick up with the meetings. Your meeting with the groups, dismembering, but ceasing. Your head is coming with me. So as the Duke of the Crimson Capital stands up and begins to walk away, your sister looks at you, Prey, just shoots you a look, but you can read as "I'll see you later." Don't fucking make this anything else. And you guys are left with Dionysus Laramsis, and he looks at Artemis, who requested a meeting, and at Prey, who he extended a meeting. And he goes, so with these meetings, would you like to have them personally, or would you like to have them in front of the group? I defer to you.
Artemis extends to you first, out of courtesy.
Oh, well, I mean, if we're going to have a good old crying sesh over Asha, might as well do that in private, perhaps. Maybe talk about Brian. I know they know about Brian, but we really know about Brian. So maybe just bond over Brian. A Brian bonding.
Okay, sounds I like that. So that will be something that we can talk in private. And Mr. Snow, yourself?
I'll look over at Prey and be like, no offense. I've only just met you. What I seek to speak of is a bit sensitive, so I would prefer a private meeting as well. Please. Thank you.
Okay, so, Monsieur Solak, I don't know how you feel, but it is nice to see you once again. And Baldur's brother, you can go with Monsieur Solak. I will send your associates their way. Once our meetings are completed, you'll see the inn that the Mistress of the Arcane was speaking of. It is just outside of the gates of the keep.
Very well, but can you just call me Mr. Kamal rather than my own brother?
It's not a problem. I will call you Mr. Kamal. I will also send Randy once he has the files you requested about the 25th. That will be delivered to you later on this evening.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so you guys head out, and he looks at Prey and Artemis and goes, whoever wants to go first, just ask the other stands outside the door.
Oh, Artemis, you're maybe go ahead, man. I kind of need to poop, so have at it. I'm like, kind of waddle out.
Just like,
Stress
do you
poop.
know? Do you know where you're going?
I just look up when I see branches. I know it's a tree, and that's good enough.
Okay. What a strange fellow. I'll like mumble that under my breath. I'm like, what a strange fellow.
He looks at you and goes, as you mutter it under your breath, he goes, yes. Yes, he is. So please, come closer. And you see that, like, he turns from, like, being this serious person, like, in a meeting, and he turns to the chair next to him, kind of insinuating, like, sit. This is it's just a little session. We're just gonna talk. Like, that cool teacher who flips the chair around, like, sits down.
Oh, he's
Trying
that
to-
guy.
He's trying to break the tension of, like, yes, I am the leader of a warring nation, but please, I'm like the guy at the coffee shop.
As you say that, as like you say coffee shop, I'm just like, okay, one moment, I'll just take a sip of my like flask of coffee, like my boundless coffee. I'm just like, okay, because it's still quite early, and I'm much more accustomed to nighttime. So I'll just like nervously walk over to the chair and sit. So, first of all, I'm not sure if you quite remember me. We were we've met quite briefly in the past. Well, not in the past, recently, actually, if I do recall.
What was the give me a moment. I'm gonna make him straight up roll history check here. Just give me a minute. I gotta his stats are not on my computer, they are in this book. There we go.
Book stats, you say?
Don't tell us what book. Don't tell us what book. We don't want to know.
He does not remember you. That's a natural one. First roll of the day, and it's a natural one. He goes, I've seen many.
Way to waste them on me right now.
I've met many people in the past few weeks.
What if I told you that we met in the hells?
You are one of those of the people that one of the people that Randy's associate had hired.
I believe so. Yes. It was quite jarring to be put in that situation. We didn't know where we were going, but I'm glad. I suppose I'm understanding that maybe you were captured and sent there. That's what I'm guessing, or maybe you were killed and sent there. The details elude me at the moment. But more importantly, okay, I wasn't sure if you remembered me. A very forgettable face, Owlin, very not
Yes,
common race, but it's okay.
Who? Who are you again? Have you just appeared in my keep?
Yes, the humor does not elude me. It is more common of a pun than I've heard. It's whom actually. Thank you.
Sorry, apologies.
Okay, to get to the point. to get to the point. You mentioned unifying the nations as they once were. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, when I was a child, they were stories that were told to me by older staff, and they told me of how Zahedril and Seption and the Isles in the middle have always been kind of warring, but trade was always there. They were never quite a meeting ground, but there was work between Zahedril and Seption. And then it's after the Evanescence happened, Seption pulled away from it's as if they retreated and kept secrets, which kept people in the Hadriel's capital a bit more on edge, and I was trying to rebuild that bridge.
I will agree with you, being from a more military-oriented family, that these tensions are certainly not enjoyable for anyone. But I do agree that perhaps we should seek for peace instead of potentially waging a useless war. Um, but the unity you speak of, you don't mean like physically together. You just mean that they were like working together, right? Is that
So before the Evanescence, they Seption was. What do you know of the Evanescence?
um? Can I roll a history check, or can I
You
like
can certainly
I,
roll a history check, and I will give you information depending on how good that
because
roll.
because I do believe I know a bit of it from, well, no, not fully, but like the stuff that I know. Okay, hold on. But that history would be, hold on, I have my spells and not my my skills. Uh, history. Ooh, +9. Oh my god. Sorry, 24.
Yeah. So the Evanescence is a historic. Every once in a while, in a time period on a world, there is a cataclysmic event that can either be good or bad. The Evanescence is regarded as an in-between unknown because no one from Zahadriel knows what happened. One day, the men of the guild know a bit about this from their time on the Isles. One day, Seption was there, and it vanished. Waters receded, everything. The Eastern Isles, being the closest landmass, sent a fleet to investigate. Upon a day's travel, when they were investigating the area, the landmass reappeared in the same spot. And the waves are what caused, like the waves of just that water being shunted back into place, are what caused the Shattered Isles. And what sent the fleet being destroyed sent the Eastern Isles into war over who would control this now broken land. As pirates do. Oh, there's no leadership, no military, let's fucking try to take this over. So that was war, and they were like, the Eastern Isles were just, like, it was war until Santiago took over again. The thing that perplexes everyone in Zahadriel is when Seption vanished, they were not settlements, but like a thriving potential. They needed Zahadriel to trade so that they could develop and push more inland. The only town that was situated was Mercer, and it was a small coastal town with a small port. Within a day, this island reappeared, and there were cities. It was a nation. They had the Rico Suave organization that was pumping out technology that was only seen on the Western Isles. In one day, they had an evolutionary leap of centuries. And when people from Zahadriel started questioning what happened, Seption retreated and just shut. Like, they trade when necessary, they speak of what is necessary, they will not delve into what happened.
Okay. Okay. Well, then that's based off what I know. I don't know what happened because I was obviously on the other continent, but I can just I can express to Dionysus, like, this is what I know, and like I've heard of what has happened, or I've heard of the what happened, but not like how it happened. It almost sounds like overnight you've leapt centuries into the future in terms of technology and science.
He looks at you and goes, when the Evanescence happened, here it was a day. people here was a day. The thing that is strange is that on this island, which is now the nation of Seption, people experienced a history outside of the prime material plane. I was born in that time. When I was a child, I remember the day Seption returned. We were home with my family. This kingdom was beautiful. It was posed to be the capital. Then something happened in Palumas. And when the event happened, not only did the Eastern Nile suffer, when water gets shunted out, it comes back. And then he leads you, he like gets up and walks out and opens two double doors that were like at the back of the room. And you can see the massive ocean. Like it is this ocean compared to the one that is in between is just constant waves and battering. And you know that it takes experienced sailors to sail on this side of the island. And he goes, all that was saved of my home was the northern part of the city. And he shows you, and you just see land just crumpled in over itself, boulders, buildings, and just ruins under the water. And he goes, we do not know how many people lost their lives. We do not know if any cultures or history were eradicated by this. But one thing we know is when this happened, instead of accepting aid and bringing an outside force who just wanted to know what happened to help, Palumas decided to shut down everything. People could go to Mercer and Palumas. The Rahi woods are violent. You've seen it by traveling. The people who were under buildings that were alive for the first few weeks, they could have been saved. There could have been rescue efforts with help from an outside source. But Palumas told us no. They refused to tell me. The leader of the Crimson Capital, also known as the former Lolopa, they refused to tell me why my people had to die. Why my mother had to tell weeping mothers, family members, grandparents that came to the northern side that their loved ones were gone and there was nothing we could do. It took a month until the last scream was silenced from those ruins.
That's horrific. It's truly tragic. I can understand why you have such tensions with the other end of the continent. It's not quite right what they put you through. I'm very sorry for the loss of your people and your home.
So, what I meant by unifying a nation is the eradication of putting secrets above lives. Putting an agenda ahead of a people.
I can understand that for sure. I can understand that. there, did, have you ever discovered what they were hiding to date?
All I know is that there is something special about this island. There is a power here that is hidden. And all I know is that when the events ended on our side, something happened in Palumas.
So from what I'm gathering, they seem to have benefited where you suffered.
I will put it this way. All Palumas did benefit. We did not suffer. We gained strength through hatred. After that day is when I met the one called Brian.
Not a very common name around here, I'm certain.
I'm sure that your tiefling friend will give you an earful about Brian if you ask.
I might just have to have a conversation with him about him. Now, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know that you have many things to do, and I appreciate everything that you've told me so far. But there's something special about this island. Do you think it would be able to bring the nations together again? Or do you only seek to put an end to Sepdion and Palumas?
The power that is within this island, how does the saying go? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. I seek to gain power through loyalty. I gain loyalty by showing respect, compassion, and aid.
As a good leader should for his people, or their people. I don't judge.
Thank you.
I suppose one last thing. If I know you met many people, but if I told you a name, do you think that you might recognize it? If it's significant enough?
You can tell me. I will see. I will dig through my archives to see what I can give you.
Padoha Fogs.
Padoha Fogs. I kid you not. That is another natural one. He goes, no, you could go dig through. I'm sure I can ask Brian to take you to our archives, see if the name is mentioned in the history that has been preserved. But
Brian or Randy?
Randy. I said Brian because I fucking looked at the chat. Randy could take you there. He has to go there to get the files for Baldur, anyways. for Mr. Camille. Sorry, he doesn't know. I don't know that he's bottled.
Archives, you say? Is there many books and things there? Of course. Yes.
It's all it is.
Oh, oh, baby. Uh, if I could have some time in your archives, this would be quite splendid. I'm sorry. I get excited about books.
As you should.
Knowledge is power. Okay. Well, if you ever hear anything about Kodoha fogs, you can find me somewhere in a library, drinking coffee, not sleeping until nighttime. Okay, or until I fall asleep by exhaustion. Goodbye. And he's just gonna.
So pray you have a really good poop.
Oh,
You
yes.
don't find a tree,
Oh no.
but you find this really fancy statue that kind of looks like a tree. It's a metal statue. Yeah, so you see Randy, like you see Artemis get out and kind of convey like, oh, I have to go to the archives. And Randy goes, "No, I believe Master Dionysus is waiting for you. I will lead you to the archives and come collect your purple friend later on." And he lets you in. And you see Dionysus just at the chair again. The doors are wide open. Just nice breeze coming in.
Well, hello. I'm not sure if we mentioned it, but Asha was. You told me or you told Asha, I don't remember, to come here to find out about Asha, about his.
I told you to tell Asher that if he had any questions about the gift that was given to him, that I could ease him into it, explain a little bit of what it entails.
You called it a gift, but it seemed to be a bit of a. I don't know if I'm using this word correctly, but an affliction.
It takes finesse to do it properly, but it is a gift. With this gift, I have had the not one but two opportunities to change the world for the better. I've created a home for many people that are called outcasts. You know, gnolls, minotaurs, chromatic dragonborns. The races that tend to be shunned by the mistakes of their ancestors. So to me, it is a gift.
Speaking of mistakes from your ancestors, what do you know? Did you know my father?
There are many tieflings here. You'll have to be more specific.
Well, some called him. I'm like remembering that my sister told me to not say a fucking thing, so I'm like, his name was. Some called him Larry. No? Okay, moving on.
I will look into this. I will ask about a purple tiefling named Larry.
Oh, he was actually, he was white. He was a white tiefling. He had a very specific scar on his nose, and it split his nose into two, and he looked like he had two noses. If you could figure out...
That would be very easy because albino tieflings do not come along often. So albino tiefling named Larry with a split nose.
Yes, if you that was my father. If you learn about that, please let me know. But anyways, we briefly spoke about perhaps taking over some islands and spreading Brian's what's the word? Joy?
I would say teachings, because you call him Brian, I call him the Liberator.
Yes.
That is completely possible within. It is completely possible within the realm of possibility.
I'm okay with this. I think Brian showed me the right way. I was on the wrong path. He pointed me to the right direction. There was a spoon in the road and I started eating soup, you know what I mean? And
An asshole.
well, anyways, I it just crossed my mind. We had Asher's gift that helped us. I know I mentioned affliction. It's only because I saw, I guess, the bad side of it at the start, and then he kind of got it under control. I'm just curious, just wondering if this would be easier with someone else with a gift.
So, the reason that I brought Asher back was because he had been accepted into the family. He was what you would call honorary. So if any decision between family members or something needed a vote, Asher could be brought in as a representative of another branch of the family. When Asher became a Damphir, he went by Lepis, but for all intents and purposes, he was a Laramses. If he came here and killed me, he would have been in charge of this entire city. He would have been... But the thing is he would not be able to leave. He would have not been able to leave. He would have been the governing person in charge. And that is a lot. There's paperwork, there's dealing with the Duke, there's dealing with the Mistress of the Arcane, there's dealing with immigration. Like, it's a big thing. It's a lot of paperwork.
Yes. Okay. Well,
I did say I wanted to have a conversation.
Yes.
The Liberator / Brian does not... He has a tendency to seek out things that he believes will aid his cause in spreading the message of liberation. I know he chose Monsieur Lepus because he had his own brand of chaos, from what my informants are telling me. Just at the gauntlet, the murder bunnies, they're selling plushies of murder bunnies.
Oh, well, that's phenomenal to hear.
But I want to know, Prey, why has the Liberator chosen you?
Well, I don't... I was given the choice because I think Asher chose me. I was to be sealed for, I don't want to say eternity, but I was to be sealed for, until I was unsealed in this cave thingy. Long story, but Asher opened the door and I had a conversation with Brian and he showed me that my past was a bit darker than I thought, and then he chose to give me powers as opposed to what my... How could I put this? I had a patron, but that patron was not treating me correctly, and Brian liberated me. That's, I guess, the best way to put that.
You were chosen, but Asher does not know the processes. So pray, as Mr. Brian, the Liberator, does. Would you like to be part of the Ramses family? Not a full-fledged member, but honorary.
Well, I'm a bit... I don't want to say ashamed, because I did have good times, and there was times that I'll always cherish, but, my family isn't quite what it used to be, and I believe I'm the senior member, and I think kind of the only one left in a certain light. So I don't think I really have a family. So I think if I could be an honorary member of what Asher was, I think that would probably make him happy.
Well, you have been accepted. Your responsibility will shift. And he reaches, like, it's as if he reaches into his head, like his I want to say robes. Yeah, there we go. He reaches into his robes, and it's as if his arm goes deeper into the robes than they should.
And he whips out
And
his
he pulls
cock.
out. This is a casting call, pray. Sit on my couch.
Now what will you do?
And he pulls out a crest and puts it on the table. You've seen, well, Asher's crest was emblazed into his chest. It looked, to what you could tell, to be a bat skull. This one seems to be different. It has the bat skull on it, but it is as if it was engraved into a shield that was made of ivory.
So a bat skull on a white shield?
Yes.
And it's like a thing, like a physical thing?
It's like but it was like, it's like Asher had it. It was like a holy symbol, like a pendant thing,
Right.
and he like held it to his chest, and he just offers that in front of you.
Am I supposed to flaunt it? Am I, like, as you can see, I generally don't wear much. Should I, like, hide it in my pants, or should I, like?
I when I had my symbol given to me, the instructions they don't come from me. The Liberator decides. It's on the table in front of you.
I'll, thank you, Dionysus, and I'll just reach up and grab it.
As you grab it, you just, in your head, you hear it in your head, and it's not it's as if it's an instinct. It just goes, it's like, I need to hold this somewhere on my body. Like, Asher had it on his chest. You need to place this somewhere for you.
And I'll like look around. Do I have, like, say a little, like a string, like a leather rope kind of thing?
You have a necklace around your neck.
Well, I kind of have two, actually, currently. I have the periaptive wound closure, then I have Daddy's little skull necklace. I kind of want to tie it to my arm or something, you know, like somewhere where I can wear it proudly.
As you say on your arm, You're like, I need to tie it there. Your head just goes, well, put it on your arm.
I will put it on my right arm. Like just where the shoulder connects to the bicep and tricep area.
Like right here?
Just underneath the ball of the shoulder.
Okay. So as you hold it up, and the best way I can describe it is kind of like when you watch the Power Rangers put their Transformers on there. It's like, oh, I've been watching Power Rangers with my kid, okay?
Okay.
It's just like magnetically pulls to it. And as you hold it, you feel it like yank out of your hand and just hammer on. And you're watching it. You would expect pain, but this ivory seems to just jut and just smokes the bone. There's no blood or anything. And this shield emblem that you had that was about this, felt like yay big, is now in there, and you just see it grow. And all along, like, the top here and to here, it is just a large shield. It's, I want to say like a, how do you say it? Like a kind of shoulder tattoo.
Okay.
Of just this ivory shield with the bat skull. And then just, you hear in your head, welcome home, Prey.
Hello, Brian? Were you listening to all of that?
And the Ramses goes, the crest that you wear was worn by one person before, not that exact one, but it is given to certain people within the families. The first person who wore this emblem was my caretaker and my sisters. Sadly, he was taken from us when we were children. And that one was designed for who was supposed to be my new caretaker, and who was supposed to be, had he not passed, he would be the Duke. No.
The
No,
new
no,
one.
the-
The new one.
The newer one, the one that was supposed to take his place. Had he not passed earlier, he would have been the Duke. What you have there is, you are basically, there's me, there should be the Crimson Duke, but you now, technically, if anything happens to me, you will be the replacement until a proper the Ramses shows up.
So like a prince kind of thing?
More like a hand.
Oh. I am a fan of handies.
This you can find information if you want. I don't have the specifics about who was supposed to have this. I do know that the Crimson Duke and this person were in competition to get this position, and when the original member who was supposed to get that charm passed, the Crimson Duke was never chosen by the Liberator. I've never asked him why, never asked Mr. The Liberator why. It's not my place. But he has served us well, and he is an ally for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you. It's a great honor.
And if ever we move to hit those islands, as you so generally keep referring to, you would be in charge of your own fleet. If we go to war, you have your own.
So
If we go into combat for nations, you are, and extended to the men of the guild. The men of the guild would be like your personal unit, but you would have a few extra units.
well, so I wouldn't be a third mate, and I wouldn't be a second mate, and I wouldn't be a first mate. I'd be a captain.
You would have captains under you.
I'd be a
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant. Ooh, Lieutenant Prey. That sounds nice. Well, if it does come to that, that sounds like a mighty fun time. Was there anything else? I feel like going to celebrate, and yes, I'm quite happy with how this meeting went.
Do you want those files on the person who was supposed to be your predecessor, or just never mind?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'm not a big reader, but I can
It's
read.
okay. You just go celebrate. The past is the past. We look forward to the future.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Farewell, my kin, my homie, my bro.
As you're slinging all these words, you see that he mage hands a bottle, like a decanter of wine. Mage hands a cup, and he's like, "Yes, sir. Good evening, Prey."
Goodbye. I'm like, and let's power walk. Like,
Oh, no spells.
Are you guys still in that chamber of like anti-magic?
Am I?
I don't know. Where did we have our meetings in that chamber?
You did.
And he is using the magic?
It's as if it was cast and then dispelled.
Like he did it, perhaps. Interesting.
It is his home.
Right.
Yeah,
What?
I know.
If he feels safe, he like yeah. Cool.
I'm alone in a room with this one person. If I die, they know who to fucking look for.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm heading out.
Okay. Artemis, are you gonna stay there all night?
Motherfucker, you know it.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
Oh, don't have to ask me twice.
Could you please roll an investigation?
28.
28. What information are you looking for
Plus
specifically?
9. I am looking for any mention of, well, I don't want to say too much, but any mention of the big thing that you told me about in private, and also the name that I mentioned there, Kadoha Fogs.
Okay. With a 28, you discover that there was some archaeological research done, and I want to say geographic, but it was like druids looking at stuff and coming up with hypotheses that concur with what you know. Kadoha Fog, the only thing you find with a 28 is a request. It is a form that is pre-written, and it's just like, what are you requesting? And it was permission to dig through ruins. And it's
Does it
signed
say which ruins?
the ones that are in the water.
Okay.
And that is it. Because at the end you see that it was denied. Not by the Crimson Capital, by Palumas, because this is their land.
I'd like to see somebody from Palumas come over here and stop me, motherfucker.
So
Okay.
yeah, that takes you like to get that information. You are there, like you pass out with a book in your hand in the
Ah,
archive.
yes, just like home.
And then we go to vultures, the vulture's perch. We'll go with Erden and Balder. You guys walk in, and as you walk out of the Crimson Palace, you can see that like there's a little bit of a township around it. Like there's a space so they can defend it, but you can see like there's doors, there's storefronts. It seems very like a thriving, not I want to say high end, but this place is all equal. So like they're buildings that did not suffer as much in the Evanet. And you see a nice wooden tavern with like a sculpture of a branch and a vulture just resting on it, and you see the vulture's perch. As you walk in, you can see that there are tables strung about. It is well lit, it is well maintained, all wood. And behind the bar, you see an Aarakocra who's a vulture. And he's just... No, it's not Scree. It's not Scree. Scree is dead. And you walk in, and you see his long neck just like peek. Oh, like he's vultures with their fucking. He just like looks over the crowd, looks at who you guys are, comes back down, just like keeps shining the glass. Serves like he's slinging drinks. Not super busy, but I would say like probably a local tavern busy on payday. So it's still buzzing, but not bumping. Great way to put it.
Right. Do you want us to grab a table and just wait for Prey, and I'm guessing Artemis is joining us as well? I'll take it as a yes.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was looking at the stuff. I thought you were asking Balder. Sorry.
I was asking Balder. Yeah, I'm guessing we work together.
Yeah, you guys are.
Yeah, I'll go grab a table.
Cool. I'll go up to the bar, and I'll just wait until the bartender kind of notices me.
So he's slinging drinks. He shows up, and like he's this old vulture, like his one eye squinty, just looks really old. And he goes, "What can I do for you today?"
I'll say I'll I'll get 4 of your best beer that you have.
Beer is okay. How do you feel about liquor?
I'll look at Balder and I'm like, how you feel about liquor? You more of a beer guy or more of a liquor guy?
I'm up for either. Whatever they got.
I'll look at him and say, what kind of liquor are you offering?
You a big spender? 'Cause I got something real special.
We'll just keep it light for tonight.
Alright. Just takes out like a bottle of like whiskey and goes, "It's alright, but if you're looking for a good time, come see me. I got that good stuff. But keep it on the down low. Don't want none of them fucking shady fellas trying to steal my shit. They're right there. I'll run you about 200 gold for the bottle."
You know, fuck it, sure, why not?
Alright, and grabs the gold and he goes, "There we go. Have yourself a great night, and like I said, once you wet your whistle with that one, come on over, Bacchus. Wet your whistle. And you get a little bit more taste for that fancy feeling. Get on over here, because again, I got the good stuff." He just like walks down the bar, chuckling to himself and just slinging more drinks. For an old like vulture, you can tell he's been in the business for a while because he's fucking doing great.
Yeah, I mean, I'll grab the bottle and a few glasses for everyone, and I'll find a table, and I'll just kind of scout around just to see if anybody gets my attention, if anybody looks familiar, or...
Okay, roll an investigation check. Or perception. If investigation if you're walking around, perception just if you're sitting and drinking.
Yeah, I'd just be sitting. 24.
24. You look around and this just seems to be like people, like, it's not a as you're looking, you're like, nothing really catches your attention. You don't really see anybody that you know. You assume like this is too close to authority, meaning like the palace is right there, that if shit were to start going down here, chances are you get fucked up pretty quick by the guards.
Yeah.
And as you're looking around, you see an ethereal figure just standing there. Like the crowd's walking by, they're not paying attention, and she's just staring at you. And she's this beautiful young elven woman. And when she sees that like you guys make eye contact, she smirks. Her face begins to go concave and slack, and she goes. And then one just typical movie thing. One person walks by and she's gone.
Nope, I don't like that. I'm just looking at my notes here. Okay.
So as you guys are like enjoying your drinks and stuff, Randy shows up to your table, and he's followed by like 3 guards, and he stacks about papers and files and scrolls just about this thick, and there's 3 piles of them, and he just puts them in front of Bald and goes, here are the files you requested on the 25th.
Thank you very much. As I start just lifting up bits of it, just quickly peeking at it.
The one, like, I'll say you take a quick cursory glance just to see what it is. Some of them are, like, say you open half, like in the middle of the stack, you just like grab and lift. You see that one of them is a death notice for someone you've notice of death that you've never heard of. You see that there are tax forms for gear bought, like when people were at another city. It's a complete filing fucking nightmare.
Yay! This should be fun to go through. Keep drinking.
All right, and as you can roll an investigation check before Prey shows up, just to see what you find out within those files.
That's a whole 11.
11. You dig through a little bit, like, because it's like, nope, garbage. Like, you're digging through it, and you find one of the names of your 25th that makes sense, and it's a person named Levy. Levy was your scout. He was your he was a ranger. He would go through the woods. He would scout a situation, come back, tell you, this is what I saw. What do you think we should do? Very loyal to his commanders, very loyal to his nation. This says he is a deserter and to be killed on sight.
It's too late. What are you trying to play?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, so.
What a surprise, an imposter would have fake notes.
And by the time you find that Levy one, you're like probably a quarter through the first stack of files when Prey walks in.
I look around just to see the men. Do I see the vulture before I see the guys?
You do see the... Oh yeah, 100%. He's slinging drinks. He hears the door open, raises his head, nods, back down, keeps slinging drinks.
I just stare. I'm like, I just walk sideways. I'm like, and I'll go find the men. Like, you guys see that, right? It's not just me.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a bit less alarming. But yes, I thought of asking to be turned into a vampire. That didn't really work out. Because I thought it'd be kind of cool, you know. I like meat. Blood's kind of, you know, it's adjacent. Not too bad. Anyways, that didn't work out. But apparently, I'm on a Ramses now, and I just kind of turn my arm, and be like, look at this.
How fancy.
Yes. So,
You're part of the Ramses family?
yeah. So, you know how Asha got us out of a couple pickles?
Yep.
Well, I can put my pickle in it now. Don't you worry.
Okay.
So, I don't know what else it really does, but I'm really excited. I think we can probably go freely in and out of the city now because I'm like, hey, don't fuck with me. But yes, sorry. Not to talk about my meeting too much, but where's Artemis?
I don't know.
Did
He never showed up.
was where he was supposed to meet us here, right?
I mean, yeah, he knew where we were going.
Well, kind of have to assume he's dead. Oh well. Oh well.
Did you see him when you left the place, or?
He had a meeting with my brother in arms there, my buddy, my bud, Dionysus. But he had the meeting before me, and then he left, and then I went in, so I don't know. I have no idea where he is.
Okay. Well.
And you guys heard the message to meet here, right? From my sister, or is it just coincidence you guys are here too?
No, I think we heard it all when we left.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we heard your sister talk to us, and yeah.
Okay, well, we wait, and maybe Artemis will show up, or maybe he won't. Either way, we've known the guy for how many hours?
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know. We might have to go look for him.
I mean, he'll show up eventually. Maybe.
Live or dead.
Yeah, dead or alive. You always get your goose. Whatever that means. I don't know. I feel wiser now that I have a family.
There's a bottle of whiskey on the table there, pray open.
Yeah.
Well, I don't typically drink really, but it's cause for celebration. He also said that I would be not third mate, not second mate, not first mate, not even a captain. If we had to, you know, sail ships in Ramses's fleet or whatever, I'd be a lieutenant. And I'd have
Very
captains
nice.
underneath me. Perhaps you could be a captain? I don't know. We'd be a crew. I don't know. We'd make it work. But he basically said like, hey, if I need you, you can be a big boy in the military or something.
So that's if we fight alongside of him in his fleet.
Yes.
Okay.
He seems to be pretty good.
I don't know. I just still have my doubts, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm kind of locked in now.
Final answer, yes. You guys made the mistake of leaving Prey alone.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just talking about all the continents, and I mean my home continent, and I don't know. It's I feel like I need to talk to Maribel just to clear things out, because he still thinks that she's responsible. But when I spoke with her, I'm pretty convinced that she's not.
I feel like I mean, they did really have a great point. I'm not usually words don't affect me all that much. Like, they just kind of go in one ear, jumble around a little bit, and go out the other. But when they were like, hey, she kind of did do the thing she was accused of, and I'm like, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she should go in jail, and I'm not saying she should get, like, executed or anything like that, but when they're like, well, she did do the things that we said she did, and I think she'd say the same, so,
Yep. No, she did.
yeah. So I don't know.
But yeah, I don't know. I just have to get my head wrapped around it. I don't know.
I think we can all agree that Daedra is the problem.
Yep.
Because
It all seems like he is.
So, as you guys are talking and drinking this $200 whiskey, you ever go see the vault? Yeah, you go. Did you go see the guy for the good stuff there, Sean? Or
Let me roll a con save, see how drunk I am. Oh shit, I'd roll a 4. Yeah,
yeah,
he probably
You're-
gets
you're-
intoxicated.
you're pretty. You guys don't drink that much. Like, you haven't had a bar crawl ever. You've not even gone to a tavern. This is the first tavern I've put you guys in that you're drinking, and you're not wooing yet, but you're having a good time.
I mean, do you guys want to try it out? Apparently, wait, I'll have to do a drunk voice. Apparently, he has a bottle of whiskey. If you guys want to try it out. Yeah.
Boulder, what's wrong with him?
He's just feeling good.
Oh.
If he rolls a con save, I'll get you fuckers too.
The first in Vitas Praetadii roll. Hey, that is
What's a 10?
actually a dirty 20.
20 and
I had a 10.
Erden's pretty lit up. Baldur, you're buzzed. Prey, you're like, what the? This is just disgusting water.
Are you guys sick? Like, do we need to get like, I mean, if you guys want to try the other one, maybe it'll taste better than this shit water.
Should.
It tastes like my bath water when I was a kid. Awful.
Pea baths. The
Yeah.
pea baths.
I mean, everybody gets thirsty when they're bathing with their siblings in sewer water, but it tasted awful.
I mean, when is your sister getting here? Where are the ladies? No, I'm kidding. Just all the social anxiety.
is gone.
The charisma
So,
goes
yeah,
up
so
by
you
8
go
points right there. Like,
He, as you approach and you talk to the old vulture about the good stuff, he looks at you and he goes, "Now this one here, there, Sonny, it's a bit pricey. It's a lot pricier than the other one. Well, this here is a $2,000 bottle of." And he reaches out and he pulls out this blue crystalline bottle that just swirls up into a point. It just looks like a beautiful stalagmite. The liquid inside it looks like you're just looking in a telescope to the stars. And he goes, "This here's imported right from Zahadriel in the Zahadrian desert of Zadina. Don't know if you ever heard of that, but this right here is a one-of-a-kind bottle of primordial scream."
I'll look at the other guys and they'll be like, I mean, sounds like a good time, but
didn't catch the last thing?
like we do have a lot of money, but like, it feels like
As he sees that you're teetering, he goes, "You only live once. Or do ya?"
I'm like,
I'll
I'm far enough to not hear, but I'm just staring the vulture from like the distance, just like,
He goes, that guy, hey!
Oh, he's casting a spell. I'm just bracing for it, like I'm like. "Ah!"
I'll ask him.
Are you
I'm
sure
like,
you're not buzzed?
Buzzard, don't say the fucking trigger words.
I'll just say for that price, would it be possible just to have a little taste, just to see if it's worth the 2,000 gold?
Roll a persuasion check, because this is a hard bottle to get by.
Probably hard to sell too, though.
But to the right
Persuasion.
person.
Oh God. 10.
I'm sorry there, Sonny. This is, if I crack it open, I don't want it to lose none of that. It's like a bottle of wine, you see? You crack a bottle of wine, you sniff it, you love it.
Just fucking snort the fucking whiskey.
Dante with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Butt chug.
So let me put a hold on that. Let me just go chat with my friends, see what they think. If it's gonna be an early night or if it's gonna be a rager tonight. I'll come back.
All right, I know you won't, pussy. And he puts it down.
All right.
If that would have been Prey, you would have bought it.
I don't have money. I legit don't have a penny to my name.
Give me 2,000 gold. The vulture's persuading me with his cash. So you go back to the table. Yeah, you stumble back.
I'll just say, yeah, that they had a special bottle, but it was a little on the pricey side. I don't know if we should spend 2,000 gold on a bottle. I don't know.
2,000. Fuck that.
That's
It was really pretty.
if I'm not mistaken, I think I could probably buy a horse with that.
You already have a horse.
Had a horse. Had a horse. Had a horse.
Spirits are still there.
Oh, yes. Holding my heart warm with the neighs of nocturnal sounds.
Nay.
Get the bottle, Prey! Get the bottle!
So, perhaps we could do that after we speak with my sister, if you want to be, functional. You seem to be getting hit pretty hard by this whiskey there, first mate.
Yeah, I should probably have a glass of water.
Okay. You guys stay there for a little bit longer. Balder, you keep digging through the files. You're not getting anywhere. It's a big fucking mess. And then all of a sudden you see this red-haired, pale woman, freckles all over her face, blue dress and like some armament. She sits down at the table. She goes, well, I see there's missing one of you.
Hello, madam. You are perhaps at the wrong table. We're late. We're waiting for this fugly-looking tiefling woman. She's supposed to be strong. She's quite weak. She's my sister.
That's
She's.
the point.
I thought she was
We are
awful.
missing someone.
Yes. Wait. Who? How do you know we're not the whole group?
Ray, you are strong
Yes.
and dumb.
Oh.
I am intelligent. I don't need to sell my soul to learn magics.
Right. Oh wait, I think I get it. Oh.
I think this bar person played a little voodoo magic, learned my name, and trying to call me dumb. I'm not a big fan of that. Actually, that what?
Call me crazy,
Crazy.
but
Crazy butt.
I mean, her name is your sister's name, nickname, whatever was Arcane something.
Ray, it's me. I'm disguising myself.
Ah, Called it.
I don't know a me.
Ray, it's K. I'm disguising myself.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check.
19 plus a 0. 19.
Moment. Seems truthful.
Oh, okay. You look much better than you normally do. I don't.
I haven't taken a piss bath in months.
Oh, well, there's your problem. Yes, we are missing one. He left and he's not here. That's the information I have.
I think Randy took him to the archives. I think he's just diving into.
He died?
As dive.
Oh.
D-I-V-E.
No, don't use letters with me. I don't like that tone. Okay, well, can we, what's going on? Okay, whoa. Woo! Yes, what's going on?
First of all, what are you doing here?
Well, we were on a few quests at the same time. We had one of our friends was a member of House Laramsis. He just happened to die like a day and a half before we got here. It was quite the journey that he died. You know, it's
Vernon
but-
starts to cry. He gets emotional drunk. It's like,
believe me, I love the little bunny man, but in terms of story, it really fell short of the end. So that was one of the reasons. Also, before I got the things explained by Brian, and I'll just like look at her and be like, "Do you know Brian?"
I have no idea who Brian is, Prey.
The Liberator.
I've heard the name spoken. I have no idea who he is.
Okay, well, anyways, he kind of showed me the truth of our family's history and fuck day, you know. Yes. I feel I feel bad for having celebrated fuck day every year, and being like, yeah, it's fuck day, go daddy, go, and it was not daddy, it was a demon, and he was. Anyways, like I said, I feel bad. So I kind of set aside the demon thing that was you know what's going on. Anyways, I'm not.
Yes, I do know about Rakim.
Yes, Rakim is no longer with me. He was giving me powers, and I was he basically told me, go kill your sister, and be like, yes, and then I was going to kill you, but don't worry about that. There was a misunderstanding. We're here on friendly terms, and I'm yes, we're on the same side, I think.
So to address the Rakim thing, do you know why he wanted me dead?
Because you killed his followers?
I took his source of power away. There was 40 people who worshipped him constantly, 24 hours a day. That is constant praise to a deity. That gives them power. I stripped it away from him. I thought everyone had died under that spell. But here you are. Another reason he wanted me dead. You know the story we were told about how we came to be?
Oh, yes, the vulture basically giving the old stag the power to mate and reclaim his land and all that?
Yes. Well, that part of it is true. Rakim did give the power to an elk to dominate the canyon.
Oh, good lord.
The problem is the offspring that came to be was not us. It is an abomination. It is huge. And you may not like me for this. Daddy
My
had
horse?
no, father,
Okay.
Yigert. He had sealed the evil away. The only price it cost him was to abandon his life. Yigert was to be Ramses's new protector. The Demon Knight
Yes.
did not have any family. He did not have any relations. He refused to work with a unit.
Yep.
So, when a task came to help the canyon, Yigert was sent. Yigert made a deal with the vulture. If the vulture gave him power, he would give power to the vulture in return. Father sealed the abomination in the cave. In my fit of rage of learning about Fuck Day, I broke Father's sword. Father's relic. I took the key out of the lock. Which allowed it to come back.
Okay, so speaking of it, remember the friend I mentioned that died a little bit prematurely?
Yes.
He might have, we as a group might have been in a combat with this thing, this elk creature in the canyon, and that might have killed him. So I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Now, when I left and came here and said I was from the canyon, being a purple tiefling, or, as I've heard, a white tiefling with a split nose named Larry.
It's short for Ramses's protector, right? Larry. I don't know. You told me not to talk about it, then I started, then I had to save myself from the situation that I put myself in.
I'm really glad that you didn't spill the beans, Prey, but Jesus Christ, but Liberator be damned.
Don't you speak those words.
That is the worst lie it's so specific. What happens if we end up finding him, Prey?
I'll give him a kiss on the cheek and be like, Daddy!
Okay, that's your problem. When I came here and told them that my family had my father led everybody to kill themselves, yada yada yada, I proved myself in the arcane practices, and the Duke kind of made connections. And I had to spin some fucking tale about how I have no relation to the Demon Knight because he's dead.
Okay.
So, please don't speak those words because you're going to turn the Duke against us.
Oh, also, just a little tidbit. I turn my arm and be like, remember how you just mentioned that our father was supposed to become Ramses's protector? I might have instinctually just followed in our father's footsteps and kinda became Ramses's protector.
Okay.
Yep.
She turns to Erden and Balder and goes, just so you know, if you hadn't had a foothold in this war, you now do. Because that is enchanted. If you've wanted to hurt Laramsis, Prey will not be able to. If you've wanted to do anything to... Because with that, if Laramsis dies, you become in charge. Do you really think he's going to give that to somebody who can murder him? No, he's going to put protections in place, so you are now... You have sworn fealty to the wildlands.
I mean, we're from here.
If Laramsis decides to burn the city down, you will be magically compelled to do so.
Oh, well, I find myself strong, but I don't want to lie. It's not all me. I have these magic kind of glove things, gauntlets, I say. I've noticed that we've actually had a bit of a tango with Laramsis people before. It was a long time ago, like 4 weeks. 4 weeks ago. It feels like a really long time ago. But I noticed that when I try to hurt them, it'd be like spaghetti arms. It'd be like, blah. So I think, do I just have a spaghetti body now with this?
No, now if you try to hit anybody that is loyal to Laramsis in a murderous way, like, it won't stop you from, like, being angry and somebody saying, like, for example, the Duke is saying something completely out of line. You punch him in the face. It won't stop you from doing that. But if your mind is going, I will murder this person, and you're not saying it's just subconscious, like, this guy has to die, and he's Laramsis touched, your body will just not do what you say.
Well, I mean, I'm all for Laramsis. Or am I wrong in saying that? Like, is there... Like, you're with Laramsis too, right? We're not... are you telling me you don't... did I make a bad decision? What do you...
As Prey is stumbling and going, shit, I may have made a mistake, Erden, in your drunken stupor, you know when you're drunk and people are talking, you're just like sitting down and it's like you, as they're talking, you're just like replaying things as they're saying in your head and you're like just enjoying the buzz. A memory hits you. A memory that almost wiped out your party. The trap room that had the fucking vents.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the artwork of Dionysus Laramsis walking through a city. It was engulfed in flames, and bodies were everywhere. This painting had no one else there. It was him.
Mm-hmm.
How do you convey this drunkly?
It's gonna sound like Prey.
Well, you know.
Well, if I'm taking property.
Erden's just gonna kind of look like he's lost in thoughts completely, and just kind of looks up at Prey because he's the only one who knows about this trap room.
Mhm.
And I'll just look at Prey and I'll say, he's looking. He's not a man of the people. He just wants to rule. Yeah. And then I'll mention to Prey. I'll just say, remember that trap place with the vents, with the smoke and the gas that we're like choking.
Yeah, I tried to burn the roof was on fire. I tried to do that. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
But there was paintings which had vents in it, which I believe is one of the ones that I had to seal.
Put your
But-
finger in the hole.
Yeah, but I just it just clicked that this painting was just him walking through a city, a burning city, just celebrating that city being burned to ash. He doesn't he doesn't want to rule. He just wants to destroy things. He's not a man of the people.
He's not a man
he
of the
just
Gill.
wants to, yeah, we are the men of the Gill. He is the man of himself, and he just wants, by the looks of it, he just wants power. He just wants to rule.
Okay, so what if the people are the problem and getting rid of the people might be the solution? Maybe it's just my Laramsis talking, but if think of it this way. You have a tribe and you eat food. There's another tribe and they also eat food. But if there's only enough food for one tribe, you want your tribe to eat the food. So you go, ha ha ha, I'm a vampire burning a city, and then your tribe eats and lives. So, I mean...
But there's no tribe. It's just him.
Well, I mean, if... Maybe his tribe was, like, in the background. Did you really investigate the painting?
I had my finger stuck in it. I was a few inches away from the painting.
Well, maybe we could talk to him about it.
He won't tell the truth about it.
I mean, I don't know.
And I'll kind of look at Kay, see what like her reaction is to all this. I was like, am I overthinking this? Am I?
Where was this painting?
So, let's recap to kind of explain where we were.
Was that DM asking or K?
Okay.
Okay.
I know exactly where it was. I spent hours drawing that map. Fuck you.
A while back, we were sent to save some children, which turned out to be captured by zombie goblin-ish looking thing. Which then we found a house with a arcane circle, and your brother here decided to. He looked at it. He was like, "Oh, it looks like it's like a blood thing or whatever, a ritual," and he just cut himself in hopes that we would find the children, and we ended up in a crypt full of things that we had to fight, and we got into this locked chamber with that painting in it, and turns out we were in Zahatriel, right?
Yes. And you do know that you were in a desert because you made your way out.
Right. Yeah,
So-
we were in a desert. Yeah.
So she takes a minute. She's taking everything in. So you were transported to the Crimson Crypt.
Yes.
That is where his mother and sister lay. Please tell me you didn't desecrate any coffins.
Did we open any? I don't remember. Did we open all of them or none? We might have peeked in a few. I don't. It's been a while. What? Just hypothetically.
I do recall there was a
I
room that
wasn't
we
there.
did not go into because we opened it and we saw something and we were like, nope. And we closed the door.
Yeah, that
But
had
most
to
of
be
the
the
room-
one with his mother and sister. I don't. We killed rats. We actually, yeah, we did a great job at killing rats, if I'm not mistaken. We rid the place of rats. So,
But there was also that big room which had a coffin, or was it just like a large table?
It was a coffin. You looked at that one. It was empty.
Right.
There was two. Though you looked at the ones that were like, you guys entered a lot of rooms where there were corpses, like just mummified corpses. Like, nope, and you just left. The ones that had like single coffins, you walked in. There was one that was a noblewoman. You opened it. You went, there's nothing here that I want, because pray to detect magic all the time. And there's only one you really desecrated, was the one that looked kind of priest-like. Which had the earrings.
Did Asher perhaps get a symbol there? Is that what happened?
No, that's when after we got out of the trap, he heard a voice or something because he was reading the Laramses thing, and that's when all this
Right.
thing happened.
Yes. Okay.
But I'll ask Kay, was his sister or whatever mother a priest by any chance?
No.
Good. Yep. No. We're good. All
Wait,
good.
just question. Did you desecrate the one that looked like a priest?
By desecrate, do you mean like fuck a corpse, or do you mean like open the
No.
lid and take a peek?
Jesus Christ.
If you took
Walking
anything.
around.
Did we?
Well, I told Prey. I did remember hearing him say "non-believer," and then you said "make me believe, fuckhead."
I think we might have grabbed earrings, because I think I said, "Oh, we'll give that to."
Sure.
No, I think I grabbed them for Esme, perhaps. Does that make sense? No, Esme
You
wasn't
grabbed
around.
them.
I grabbed
Foghorn.
them for Foghorn.
And I'm
The shit.
wearing them now.
You're wearing one of them. Foghorn's wearing the other. She goes, okay.
That's why I was just like,
I would hide that because that priest person is the Duke's father. Dio watched him die.
So
The
did we.
city.
What? Okay. Well, the priest father thing, that wasn't at the same time as the whole Daedra thing, right?
I have no idea.
Okay.
The Daedra thing. No, because the Daedra thing.
It was like recent, like half a year ago.
Yeah. Yes. So you did, yeah. And she goes, so the city you see being burnt down in that painting was a mural that was commissioned by Dionysus. And he is burning down cities that helped the Goblin clan that killed his sister.
I mean, okay, that sounds pretty bad. Like, oh, genocide to the goblins. I remember when I stepped foot in the canyon, and then the fucking goblin vehicle thingies killed my horse that I named after our father, Daddy.
She goes, Goblin vehicle? What?
Of
What?
the Heikel is a it's like a horse, but it doesn't have horse parts. It's made of like rubber or stuff like that. I don't know, metal, or like I don't know what these things are. But
What are you talking about?
the
Canyon was empty when I left.
Oh well, there was a forest that grew where the elk thing was, and then there was goblins roaming around with like vehicles. And I did, back to where I was going with this. I said that my first command, or my first rule, or my first decree, is that a word? I don't know. The first thing I would do as king would be to kill all the goblins in the nearby city. So I'm kind of on the same page as Dionysus in that one. So if there is a city to burn, it sounds pretty bad, but if it's that one, it's the lesser of the evils. Some could say even good. Not to defend Dionysus in a case where we might disagree. I don't know. This is a lot of new stuff going on, but if it is that town, I might have done that myself. Maybe it's a painting of me. I don't know.
Okay. This would have been so much easier, Prey, if you just would have followed everybody off the cliff.
Well, it would have been maybe easier if you just got fucked by a demon.
Um.
Oh god, it froze. Oh, okay, cool. Hello?
Oh no, it's me.
Okay.
Um. I'm going to do. Yeah, she's not gonna go harsh. Um. She's going to just wave her hand around and cast prestidigitation.
Okay.
You now look like you shit your pants, and she just creates the smell with it at the same time.
Oh, look, I'm Kay. Okay, sister. This is enough.
This is a great family reunion and all.
Like she's thinking, do I kill prey? No, I don't want a bar fight. I still have stuff I want to do with my life. So she just stops. She goes,
Prey is technically 1-0 in bar fights, just so you know.
Asher's not here this time.
I'm kind of like 40 and over my family as well, so like doing pretty good.
So she goes, okay. So, doesn't matter how you feel about him. Ray's made the decision. The men of the Gill are either with Prey in this endeavor, or it's better for you guys to part ways. But with Prey here, Prey, can you plug your ears and just go la la for just a minute?
Yep. La 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 la.
Ray is an emotional child. If you fucking leave him alone, he will probably hunt you down out of sadness and murder you, because it's better for him to have control on the situation than you guys being alone and dying by some other means.
Yeah, he probably would. I mean, we've been traveling I have been traveling with him for a while now.
He's not known for being emotionally stable.
Nope, he is not. But yeah, I don't think we should. I couldn't see myself parting ways. But could we perhaps use this access to Ramses to maybe find a way to betray him? Is that a possibility?
You'd have to play the long game. You would, and then she looks at you. She looks at Prey. She goes.
Oh, hello.
Thank you, Prey. We were just talking about numbers and magic spells and just, statistics and vegetables.
I know sticks and stuff. Yes.
Dice bone.
So Loramses can't be that bad, right? Because you're with him now. Like, what? Why are you? Why are you there if you think he's bad?
I needed arcane knowledge. Where was I gonna find that in the canyon?
Well, sometimes there's magic from within, sometimes you get magic from others, and sometimes you learn it. I mean, I guess you learn it, and I just kind of get it from Brian. But, I feel like you're trying to make me feel bad for trying to follow the guy that I think I considered him my best friend. Asha was following. So I don't know. Like,
as I said, Prey, you've made your choice. I was just, for your question, Erden. You would need to show alliance to be able to get that close.
Close to who for what?
The Duke, a PP touch.
Do I know this place?
Yes.
Like, why? I know it's like, why? There's a Duke of Pee Touch now? I just called it like the bush where I touch my pee. Like, why would that be? Why would there be a Duke there now? Has it expanded exponentially since I've been there? Is it
Trust me, if you haven't gone to your bush for a PP touch for a little bit, that shit is overgrown.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Whatever, Balder. What? Okay, interesting. Okay. Anyways, carry on.
Yeah. So, those are your options.
So you're here to gain power, but what is your end goal?
Mine? I really don't have one.
So,
my
are you against the Ramses, or are you just undecided at the moment?
I am for survival. I murdered my family to survive.
And I survived because I had to shit, but mainly because you failed to kill me. So I guess thank you. I'm surviving because I guess luck. I don't really believe in luck, but maybe I was lucky to need to shit at that exact moment.
Luck, destiny,
Brian.
divine intervention. I am looking to survive. War is imminent. You've picked a side in this civil war.
I mean, if you're saying that painting is like a prophecy or something, or just something he bought, right?
Oh no,
I want a painting of
the
myself burning a city.
No, the painting was a reminder to whoever entered that crypt that if he is driven far enough, nothing stands in his way. That is a recreation of a village.
I mean, don't we all have a breaking point? I feel like you're like, oh, how dare he threaten to burn a village. I feel like I've thought of a lot worse. I literally threatened the elk thing that I will fuck his corpse. And it's not really a threat, it's I will fuck its corpse. Like, once we kill the thing, I'll be like, for you, Asha, and I'll take his little hide and whip out my cock, and then I'll fuck his corpse. Because the friend I was talking about earlier, he's getting made into a little, like a...
Oh, I know.
a-
I know.
Okay, yes.
Don't worry. I had to find the leather worker. I know.
Okay, yes. Extra large.
Another thing that I don't know what good it would do, but didn't he mention that Daedra isn't aware that he's still alive?
As you say this, she like scoots closer, and she hushes her voice, and she goes, after Ramses was taken care of the first time, Ramses was a figure. He was seen. By doing my own digging and reaching out to my contacts out of this city and out of this island, he ran something called the Dark Sun. To you, Erden, that rings a bell.
Yep. I have it in my notes.
The Dark Sun is the cult in
I burned the
Homestead.
library down.
Yeah, and Homestead, the Dark Sun will shine again.
Yep.
When
Yep.
they tried to stab Strogoff. And she goes, when he died, Daedra poised himself to be the head. And that's where he's gone. It's as if all traces of Daedra are gone.
So, are you saying that Loramsis was the leader of a dark, evil cult, and Daedra, who I believe would be the villain in that story told in that way, was killed by Daedra? Daedra took over this cult, and then the cult is nowhere to be seen. Oh, wait, no. The cult has been seen. Wait, Daedra's the leader of the cult. Wait, no. But Loramsis is...
We don't know.
This is so
That's the
confusing.
thing.
Because we did see them in Homestead, where
we saved
they-
Kyle?
Yes.
No, Kyle was Southern Isles.
Oh,
Homestead was the
Elsport.
where I summoned the demon and he fought with the people.
and well,
Yes.
I ran after them.
Where he went into the
And-
tree.
Yeah, I was chasing them, and a portal or something, a doorway, something opened up from a tree, and the guy was like, the person was jumping into it, and I threw my dagger at him. I feel like it connected, but the portal kind of closed right away, and my dagger got stuck in the tree. But that's all I remember. He said the Dark Sun will shine again or something like that.
Yeah, so that what you're remembering is not at Cellsport when the library was burnt. That was just them running away. Never anything said. At Homestead, when you figured out that Gentleman Velociraptor, Esme's family and all these guys were together with the vampires, they tried to kill Strogoff, and when they raised the dagger, they said the Dark Sun will shine again. They went to stab him, and then you shot the crossbow to get the dagger out of the hand.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Dark Sun had nothing to do with Cellsport. That was just one of the champions there from Mercer,
Mm-hmm.
which you haven't seen here.
So yeah, we have heard of the Black Sun, Dark Sun, whatever. So that's the cult or whatever that Loramsis used to run.
He used to be the head of the Dark Sun. They were a secret organization that infiltrated political parties in Zahadriel, corrupted everywhere they went, and Daedra figured it out and started vigilanteing about, doing the work, figuring out who was the Black Sun, taking them out. When you're alone and shake the power structure that much, they tend to fight back in bureaucratic ways. He was labeled a vigilante and a serial killer and put away.
Mm.
So
Which would explain. Yeah.
you're telling me Daedra wasn't really evil? He was just kind of following his own motives?
It depends on who you follow.
But-
If you speak that name here openly, you will get looks, you will be hated. If you go to Zahadriel, to Hansford, Ikarora, and other places that were affected by him, he's a hero. Someone's hero is someone else's villain.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way the story goes.
I'm Daedra. Do you know why he was trying to take down the cult? Did you mention that?
That's That is something that Laramsis has never mentioned. He's never written down. It is out of my purview.
Well,
Now, back to your point, Erden. If you're looking for that back door, or...
well,
And she leans in, she goes, Pray, I guess you're going to hear what we're talking about. If you're looking for that back door on betrayal, Daedra's your way in.
We don't know where to find him.
wait, whoa.
That's a good start.
So, you distrusted Dionysus enough to consider talking to Daedra about taking out Dionysus?
Not me. Erden brought up the fact that if he wanted to go against him, what would be the proper course of action? Then it's go through Daedra. The thing is, though, if you go that route, you now take the stance with Palumas. This is not done lightly. You have to make a choice. Do you join the Wildlands? Or do you civilize them?
Erden, if I may.
Yep.
Where would we have been without Asher working, like, without his Laramsisms? I feel like it's kind of early to really be like, hey, I don't I don't trust this guy, blah blah blah. Like we haven't, like, I'm basically following Asher in this. It's not that I necessarily care for Dionysus, it's just that I would have been I considered myself willing to do what Asher would have done. Because he's not here to do it.
Yeah. No, and I get that. But I feel like Asher might not have had all the answers either of everything, because I don't know. He's never, I'm trying to remember, I don't think Asher's ever met or, like, has he even seen Dionysus? Because, like, he was dead, and then he brought him back to life, and then he just yeeted out. And he's been talking to Mr. Brian, but, like, would he have known what the true intentions of Dionysus would have been?
I'm thinking, I'm seeing Brian as a, I guess, father figure, and I see him as being Asher's father figure in a certain way, and I think in an interesting way he's probably a father figure to Laramsis. So I think as brothers, in if a way to look at it, I think it would have been just the way to be. He, like, Brian, I guess, is a part of me. Like, he's a part of Asher, he's a part of him, so it's a tie that isn't easily untied.
Yeah. I mean, I do know that Brian specifically has helped us a lot throughout our journey. And that's the thing. I've never met Mr. Voice, Brian, whoever you might call him.
Do you want to?
That can be arranged.
Nope. Nope. For now, I'm okay. I already got one creepy voice in my head. I'm good.
Do it, Trey. Do it, Anakin.
Okay, well, without him, without Brian, I'd be lost because I would have perhaps
Hey,
tried to kill Kay. You know, it's
you
no
also
no
just
offense, Kay.
would have been dead.
As you say no offense, Kate, and you look, she's gone.
Oh, what the fuck? Did you notice she left?
I look up from my papers and nope.
Okay. No answer.
Sneaky one.
I mean, we are hunters, you know. But she is gone. So, we are a bit of a fork in the road, you know. Or as I said earlier, there is a spoon in the road, and we need to pick a soup to eat.
Yeah. I mean, like she said, you have you have the Ramses crest or whatever on you, so we've already picked her side in all of this, and like Kay was explaining everything that it involves, I I stand by my men, and I don't want to betray or part ways with you. So I will, yeah, we'll go ahead with following Laramsis, but just know that I still have my doubts. I'm still a bit worried that we might be doing the wrong decisions, but as first mate, I want to stand by my men, so.
I appreciate that, Balder. And when I refer to them as my
Balder?
Balder. Erden, sorry. The whiskey apparently is kicking
Look
in
at Balder.
slightly.
Did you say something?
Balder's quite quiet. But Erden, when I refer to them as brothers, it's because we have the same father figure. When I call you my brother, it's not because we're related or we share a father figure. It's because I love
the
you.
horny fellows.
Yes, we're the horny fellows. You know,
'Cause we're the horny fellows.
we've been together for what, 5 weeks now?
And you've adopted a son.
Yes, we are the
Son
father.
together.
We have Kyle, and it. I don't want you to make decisions because of me. I want you to make decisions because of you, and
I just feel like I don't have enough answers or enough knowledge yet to make a decision. I'm just pointing out the things that are bothering me, or that I feel that things that I might not necessarily agree with, but I feel like I don't have all the answers to make a definitive answer.
I mean, if you're waiting for that, I think you'll probably die
Yep.
of old age before you know everything you need to know, right?
Oh, this curse mark might help me. I don't know.
There's that too. And also, just a brief thought, if we do march somewhere for a war or something, or something, perhaps at one point we'll be in Zahadriel and go see your thingamabob, the thing you talked about at one point.
Yeah. Another thing too is that I wouldn't want anything to happen to my mother, because she's in Zahadriel, and I don't know what their plan is. If they're going to eradicate, if they're going to just if they're going to a specific section of Zahadriel just to take it over, or what exactly. But yeah, like my friend, like Mirabelle, my mother, I wouldn't want anything to happen to them. However, I do want to go and find out whatever the fuck this is.
Right. But I think more directly there is the wildlands and the Palumas problem.
Yeah, well, yeah,
That's
there's that too.
That's for us right now. I think that's a bit more pressing. So, let's say we have a 2,000 gold bottle of whiskey and see where the night goes, and we'll deal with that tomorrow. And perhaps we could find what's his name? Hootie. Artemis tomorrow.
Party.
Yes, Artie. There we go. Artemis.
Don't you dare.
So, how about that, Erden? How about we drink and perhaps we play games or something. I don't know, but we'll deal with that tomorrow.
Time while we keep on with our adventure, if you could, or if you do talk to Brian eventually, try to see what their motives are, what their true motives of the Ramses or whatever, what what their motives really is, and get a feel of it. Just see what you think.
I think I know that it's along the lines of chaos, but I'll see. Well, perhaps when I go to bed, sometimes he visits me in the night and tickles my toes, or maybe I just dream of that. But we'll see what
But
happens.
you don't want Brian in my life.
Yeah, Conrad, you are frozen. Just to let you know.
Oh, I am.
The
That is really weird.
frozen,
I'm
yeah.
yeah, I'm even frozen on my end. This is real weird. Let me just try to fix that real quick. I'm gonna turn off the camera. Sorry.
And
Hey,
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
I was
so-
temporarily. So, yeah, I'll get up and I'll go to the bar and
You pay 2,000 golds, you get this beautiful bottle of Primordial Scream. You bring it to the table. Balder, as he brings this bottle, are you going to keep going through those pages, or are you joining?
Screw it. We can read tomorrow. Not joking.
I'll pour a shot for everyone, and I'll just say to Asher,
To Asher.
To Asher.
since it's been like a day, I'm like, we haven't fucking done anything. So it's like we're talking about Asher a while ago, and I was like, yeah, let's just drink this for Asher.
Yes.
I need all of you
Yep.
to make con saves.
Oh God, I don't remember.
Same as it.
I remember that this did a thing. I just don't remember what and how bad it was. Oh, I was gonna roll the purple. Let's go with the prey dice here. It's a 14.
What'd you get, John?
Well,
Balder?
9.
Woo! Tomorrow's a write-off.
It is quite. You guys, when he cracks open the bottle, like, it's not a twist top. It literally looks like it's sealed in a crystal. He has to take a dagger and break it off so that it's open.
mm-hmm.
Pours it. As he pours it, you just see streams of something, different colors and flakes of just float into the air, and you all have shot glasses. Erden is drunk, so he may be pouring a bit too much. You all raise your glass, you say to Asher, and Pray, you see this because you rolled the highest, but Erden, Balder, and you all at the same time. As soon as Erden takes the cup, face just on the table. Balder just takes a drink. He's been straight the whole night and just hits the table and just like, and you guys just all hit the ground. Out. Completely intoxicated. it levels at you blackout. Erden,
Mm-hmm.
while you are in your drunken stupor,
Yep.
you are in a dark area. You hear screams just surrounding you and just swarming and just circling. And you expect something to pop out. And these big demonic things that look like dragons at a distance but close enough that you can see details of their wings begin to shift in the shadows. Shift to purples, blues, greens. And they shrink to rabbit size. And you're surrounded by murder bunnies. And you get a sense of warmth. You feel a hand. Would be your shoulder, but it's very short. So it kind of like awkwardly just like touches your hip.
How you doing?
And you turn and you see a paw. You see the ears. But you see a cloak pulled over. And you can't see the face. And you hear the voice going, "Too many influences. Pick what you want to see in this world."
All hail the mighty carrot.
So, if that wasn't clear, pick what you want to see, Erden. It's her voice, Asher's body, and a cloaked head, all mixed together. Pick what you want to see.
So my choices are The Voice or Murder Buddies.
Voice, murder bunnies, or her.
As Erden is seeing what he believes is Asher, all the sign points towards that. He'll just kind of reach over and try to, like, or go back and like kind of put his hand on Asher's shoulder.
So you put your hand on Asher, and the voice goes, and it's just I did an inward chuckle. It didn't register. Exactly. Like when you asked Google to do the noise. Sorry. So it all fades, and it's as if you're looking through a porthole, and you see from behind two of Prey's tribe members with ropes around their waist, climbing canyon walls, as Asher is tied in between both, being lifted up, just with a piece of paper and drawing and writing. And when they reach the top, you see a vast expanse of just dirt bridges leading to what seem to be doors. And the camera shifts to the front, and you see Asher, and your mind floods to the small, timid bunny you met 5 weeks ago, and the murder bunny that left you 2 days ago. And when you look at him, he has this air of confidence and just knowing and purpose. Asher has a task. Asher is on task. And you know, with two Praetas by his side, He's good. And he just starts to walk down this dirt bridge that leads to the first door, and it's gone. Balder, you wake up and you're in front of the Grand Hall again. But it seems decrepit. It seems broken. It's compared to what you saw it last time with the festivities and just the warmth it exuded. It's all gone. This is in shambles. And you hear sobbing from the inside. What do you do?
I enter.
You start to move, and it's strange. It's as if the drunk you felt in real life is carried out into this spiritual realm. So you're stumbling and you're walking, and it's hard to get to where you're going to. You have the purpose, but it takes you longer than you expect. And when you get there, you see a little girl, pale white skin, black dress, and just a piece of cloth around her eyes, and just blood running down. And she's just crying over what seems to be trash. This place is, she's crying of, kind of grieving the situation she's in.
I'll slowly approach and ask, what happened here?
As you approach and you get closer, you speak, and your voice just echoes out. Yeah, just constantly you hear it echo. And this little girl, as you get closer, you assume probably 5 years old. And you get close and you see that she is weeping over the body of a soldier. Well adorned and completely this was a high-ranking official, and he is dead. And when she looks up, you see that she has a slash mark across her eyes. And she turns, and it's as if she's looking at you, but she's looking through you. And you see this big dwarf come up and say, "Who did this? I promise I'll make 'em pay." And you see, kind of fast forward, she talks to this dwarf, and he takes off, and you see this one lone dwarf annihilate a bandit clan that raided this hall. He comes back to the girl, gives her the spoils, and tells her, "Somebody else comes along. Give him this." And he gives her a bag of coin. "Tell him of other troubles," and walks away. And then you just see it kind of like those time lapses where one photo stays in place and you just see everything blurring around. You see this young girl grow into a beautiful young woman, blind because of the gash across her eyes. And she ends up owning the building that was decrepit. She rebuilt it. It became a grand hall. And you see heroes coming in, giving her things from their bounties that she gave them. And then you get out and you see that the tavern's called The Renown. Then all of a sudden the ground shakes, and you see leaves that were falling just stop. It's as if the whole world freezes. And then just a bright light envelops kind of like Akira, where it just expands and just starts annihilating everything. This small tavern seems to be protected. And you hear her voice in your head, and she goes, This is the power of glory earned, Balder. This is immortality. What will you do to gain entry into my hall?
I'll do what needs to be done. First, to regain my name from my brother.
And you see like your vision is brought inside, and you see that there is a chair sitting at the head of a table, and you look down this table that is set. You see Jerry, Good Boy's brother. You see Doc and Rock, your cleric that healed the 25th. Rock was you called him Rock because he was the groundwork for any assault. They could not break through him. You see Levy, and you see Commodore. All of them sitting there and just empty plates looking at you. And Commodore, who was your second in command, goes, "We're waiting for you. We'll eat when you're here." And you realize that in your troop there was you, Jerry, Doc, Rock, Levy, and Commodore. But there was a seventh. You do not see Flint. And when you think of that name, the whole troop looks at a chair, and that chair has been destroyed. And they all look at you and go, "We'll be here for when you show up." And you black out. Pray! My little purple man.
Oh no.
You go to bed. Your brain swirling with so much fucking information that was dumped on you. And you kind of like jut up. And you're in the cabin. Brian, so used to calling him Mr. Voice. Brian is sitting there making some tea. He goes, "I think you'll need this tomorrow morning, so I'm preparing it for you, Pray." So, busy day for you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Brian.
Yes, Pray.
Can I ask 2 questions? The first one being this one?
You don't need to ask permission for questions, Pray. You're free to do as you wish. I will answer to the best of my knowledge.
Well, I guess it's not a question, it's a request. Tell me about Daedra.
This would need something more than tea, my friend. And he sits down, pours you a cup of tea, and just like, it's as if he reaches into you and pulls out the shot of Primordial Scream you had, and he goes, "I'll be needing this." Just takes the shot and goes, "Doesn't taste the same. What do you want to know about Daedra? He was an interesting piece to the puzzle."
Did Asher ever mention that Prey was okay? What? So you know of Prey? or no, I am Prey. You know of Daedra. Sorry, the whiskey.
Yes.
The whiskey. You took most of it out, anyways.
Well, I have to. I have to let you have a bit of fun too. I can't have you dying.
So Daedra killed Dionysus.
Yes, that is correct.
When that happened, do you know what happened to him after? Or why he did that?
Oh well, Deidre was, as I said, a fun piece to the puzzle. He saw that Loramsus. He saw that his vision was tunneled. He was involved in politics. He was involved in a cult. He was trying to gain dominion over the Zahedriel. He was doing it poorly. But do you want to know what really got Daedra up Loramsus' ass?
You don't need to be super graphic with that one, but go ahead.
Love. Daedra had, how could I put this? A bit of not towards Loramsus.
Oh, okay.
No.
That was my first question.
He had a fondness for a young lass. I think you'd like her, Prey, a bit of a warrior type herself.
Oh.
But, Daedra outshined Loramsus. Loramsus was his superior, and Daedra made him look foolish. So, Loramsus, being petty, stole the one thing he could from Daedra. The woman of his dreams. Then, with that hate, Daedra fueled it into research and discovered about the Black Sun. And by some means got into contact with me. He offered me... Daedra offered me a way to refocus Loramsus. In exchange, Daedra wanted power. He wanted the head of the snake. I offered him the entire thing. A meal, if you will. And we had a great arrangement. Then, a few days ago, I was introduced to Frigate. Frigate began assaulting my domain. I needed to have my power back, and divvying it amongst my believers was hard. I can't make Loramsus choose between Asher and Daedra because he would have picked Asher. I can't make Daedra pick between Loramsus and Asher. He would have picked Asher. So I told Asher to make the choice. Asher decided that I needed to get rid of Daedra. And Loramsus was kept under my good grace. Now, Daedra wasn't pleased with this, but the last I heard, the last I could locate him before I severed ties, because I do want to know where he is, if ever I feel the inkling of making my pardons and reintroductions. He did have Seption soiled under his feet. That is the best I can give you. That is all I could gather in the moment I severed ties.
So, if I understood that right, you had Daedra kill Dionysus?
Yes, I did. Daedra wanted him dead. I simplified the task.
So, Daedra was one of my, What's the relation if we're also following you, like a...
I'm just a kind deity that lets you do whatever the fuck you want without rules. The only rule I say is please don't fuck me over. If you get rid of one of my believers, give me a new believer. Asher got lucky because he offered me his blood relative, as a pardon for offering me to his blood relative. Asher learned the hard way that I can be a prick sometimes. Potions, we all do.
Right.
But yes, Daedra was under my guidance for a little bit.
So Daedra killed because Dionysus took the one thing he loved.
That and Dionysus he had purpose when he started. Then he lost his way, wandered too far from the flock, and I needed him brought back in.
So would you say he has a good course now? Or is he sailing away into the storm?
Currently, he's doing what he wants to do, which is what I like. But once you've seen the outside world, you tend to want to leave again. Once Mummy and Daddy let you break the rules once, you're bound to try a second time, right?
I'm not saying that I want to, but as Daedra did before me, if there comes a day where something needs to be done, I'm in the understanding that I can't help myself. But I have come to understand that not all of my allies feel the same about Loramsis as I do. And it might not be regret, but it's not far from it. I'm sure you were present for the whole thing that happened.
Of course, I never leave my ears off.
Yeah, there's one way to make sure your glasses stay on, I suppose.
Exactly.
So do I know you want us to do what we want.
Yes.
But do you think I did the right thing?
I believe that the move you made is a move in a general direction. It wasn't the checkmate, it wasn't the end-all, do-all move, but you got yourself closer to Loramsis, did you not? You are now a trusted ally, you could gain information. There are many possibilities to a bad choice. Just don't keep making bad choices. He leans in.
Well,
He leans in. He goes, now, again, if you want to make bad choices, that's your purview, and I completely support it. Side note, if you wish to do as Daedra did before, I would seek him out. You may not get a warm welcome, but it would be better than trying to charge headfirst into a demonic elk. Alone.
so with what I'm understanding is that Dionysus would certainly be okay with me trying to find Daedra. Not
Yes.
he'd be like, go find Daedra. Or I'd be like, okay, we talked about getting Daedra. Yes. And then perhaps it might not go as he planned. And maybe Daedra, being of warrior spirit, could help with a certain elk problem like perhaps you mentioned.
I will tell you this. Daedra is a strong ally to have. He does have an organization under him. I did not take that away from him. Daedra was the driving force behind that. What I'm saying is, if you plan on taking my strongest believer and influencer out of the picture, and he just goes like this and shows the Ramses's face. He goes, no offense, Prey, but you're not the leader a city or nation needs. You need to replace a king. Then he shows Daedra's face with a king.
So you're telling me that if history were to repeat itself, it...
But here comes the hard sell. You have to reconvince Daedra to align himself with me.
Well, I feel like perhaps I can be convincing at times, and I don't know Daedra at all. Do you... having him as your messenger, or what have you, a follower, what... Do you know what he responds to? Reason?
I will say things about Daedra. Be wary of kindness. Be wary of words. Daedra respects action. Daedra also respects duty. Daedra says he'll do something. Pardon my language, he'll fucking do it. If you do something for him, he does not deal with coin. He deals with favors. But
yeah.
that's one option. You can always follow the Ramses and see where that goes. He may not stray from the path, but he may.
I have a feeling that if you commission someone to paint yourself burning a town, you perhaps are prone to do that. Maybe with less cause than should be required to burn a town?
Maybe. But you need your rest, Prey. You drank something that is very potent, and I can't help with that. Good night! And he just slaps you across the face. And you have a pounding headache. Artemis! You are reading, you're searching.
Asleep at this point, remember? You
Yeah.
like pass out.
Artemis, as you are sleeping, your mind is racing with excitement. You realize that the information you have is unknown. It is not something that everyone knows about. More reason to keep it secret. And you look for Mr. Foggs. And you find him. You find a name. And you're like, this tells me it was a person. This is not just gibberish I found in a fucking library. And you dig deeper into these files and you fall asleep. As you fall asleep, you feel your consciousness, not your physical self. You feel your consciousness being carried. And it's as if you're a book being carried. No, you're not a book. You're smaller than that. You're like a page being carried through a massive library that just expands beyond your vision. And then whatever's carrying you stops, grabs a book, places you in it, puts it back on the shelf. It's dark for a moment. And then it plays. You are, again, not physical, you are corporeal. And you just see a ship a small sailing vessel with one person at the tip, and one person behind the wheel, and they are driving through a massive storm. And the voice that rings through goes, "Eve, that be able to make it to your destination today. The storm is raging a bit too much. I don't believe the Bitch Queen will grant us passage today." And you hear a voice from this figure in the front. It's about 4 feet, maybe 5 feet tall. It is wearing a blubber, like, I want to say blubber, but like a waxed coat so that water beats off it. It has a cloak over its head, and you just hear "I have no use for divinity. Where I'm going, I question it. So please, Mr. Van Vanderbilt, we carry on through the storm, and I will give you your due once we make port." And then you just hear of a prayer being muttered. And it zooms out, and you just see a large hurricane, and they're just at the crest of the beginning of it. As you zoom out, you see waves 50 feet tall, 100 feet. You see tentacles whip out of the water, and you see that whatever is in this storm is made to stop travelers. And then you wake up, book in your face. You're going, "Shit! That's happened!" And you rush out as fast as you can. Randy goes, "I'll put the things away, don't worry. Have a great evening." And you rush out. Oh. Sean's gone. You rush out, and you see that it's dawn. It is starting to break, and you run into the vulture's perch. You see that there's a vulture just cleaning the bar. This one seems young. Seems the old guy works the night shift. And you look, bar's empty. And you see Erden is like hanging on the rafters up high. You see Balder is sleeping, both his swords into the wall and leaning on them. And you see Prey just bear hugging like 3 other guys who are just like, "Help us." And the men of the guild that have drank the and you see a bottle, crystalline bottle, just sitting there with maybe 3 ounces missing from it. Balder, Prey, Erden. Next session, you all have a level of exhaustion and a hangover. And we will figure out what fucking things you guys did under the influence of this bottle next session. So please join us next week when we're playing D&D, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday. And if you are not following, follow us. Because when we reach 500, or no, 54, what are we, 500? Yeah, 500 followers. We will be doing a giveaway, and you could get your very own poster of the Men of the Gill. And if you want it signed, we can sign it. If you want, we'll all press an individual nipple on it, but it is your choice.
Weird offer, but I'm not opposed.
Where I thought you were going.
I mean,
I thought you were gonna say we're gonna dunk our ball sacks on the back, but I thought you were gonna.
I mean, upon request, I guess.
$50 is $50.
So yes.
Dip them in the ink.
So yes, if you're not following, please follow. We will be back next Monday unless someone dies. I mean, there's probably
that
other.
sounds like a threat.
There's probably
That's a threat.
Wank wank. Let the liberator be
Wank,
free.
wank.
Wank wank. But yes, next Monday, if you're not following, please follow. And yeah, doing a fancy dandy giveaway. And there are a few fun things, but yes, we will find someone to raid. Ooh, the channel that. Yes, let's do this one. This is the channel or the company that made the Idle Champions game, and they just happen to be playing Dungeons and Dragons right now. So, I will start the raid, and we will. Ooga booga 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 booga. Thank you very much for watching. Please follow. Please follow. Booga 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 booga.
Only of the mighty carrot.